guys, IKhanWhisper here, back with some more World of Warcraft. Here we're gonna do a horrific vision, which if you haven't done it and aren't familiar with what exactly that is or the background for it, it is the main bad guy of this expansion is N'Zoth, and he's spreading all this corruption and has the ability to kind of get into people's heads and corrupt them and do things that they wouldn't normally do. And you get to go into these horrific visions of the potential future if N'Zoth wins and has kind of corrupted a lot of key people in Orgrimmar and Stormwind, and it alternates each week which is available. This week is Orgrimmar. So once you've completed like a full run and defeated all the bosses in all the different sections of the city, you can unlock masks, and each one puts extra unpleasant effects on, as well as just adding an extra 25% damage to enemies and increasing their health by 25%. So, this is the 3 we go with. We picked the least likely threatening ones here. So maximum sanity reduced by 50%, which is that yellow bar in the center on the bottom. And then if you're below 50% maximum sanity, you'll occasionally summon enemies from the void, and when moving, spawn void zones behind you that drain sanity. I found those, if you're going to do 3, to be the least annoying to deal with. The other one was, one of the other potential ones was adding 2 crazy effects in each zone, which can make some very unpleasant combinations. And what was the other one? I forget what the other one was off the top of my head right now. But, so yeah, this is pretty timed, since your sanity is constantly draining at an increasing rate depending on what zone you're in. And there's some things that counteract that, like once you fill out the tech tree, you can, there's a couple of different things that kind of help slow it down. There's an effect that can happen that prevents sanity loss for like 10 seconds or something, and you have 3 of those little items you can put down that you stand in a zone and it restores your sanity. And after killing elites, you get 200 sanity back, which, if you're moving at a good rate through this, then that actually is usually enough to keep you going. So that's why I'm fine with the 50% total reduction. So here summons and stuff that are bound to these evil totems here. But yeah, there's a lot of corrupted bad people, even some named people which you may recognize. There's some important people. There is some, just some shopkeepers and stuff that you might recognize. And I should probably look up where all of the people are for this. I know where a couple are, but there are like named people scattered around, usually in shops or something, where you can kill them and they give you a buff. I know where like everything is for Stormwind, but I don't know where. I know where like two are in Orgrimmar. So might just have to explore a bit more, or maybe just look something up. And these chests contain like, what is it? Some kind of like, I forget exact name. Horrific mementos or haunted mementos, corrupted mementos. I think that last one might be right. But it's just a currency you use to upgrade your, I don't know, a little separate research tree to help you out in here. And you also have a cape that you continually upgrade based on your progress through running these. That adds sanity, loss reduction, corruption resistance. I don't know what, I think my, feel like my brain works faster than my mouth sometimes, and I end up like just combining the word that I'm trying to say with the word that I want to say next or later in the sentence already. It's weird. But I don't know, if you just poke fun at yourself and have a good time with it, it's not, I find it kind of amusing. But alright, here's the boss here of this section, the Oblivion Elemental. That's a cool little model. When I'm fighting him, I'm just looking out for a lot of stuff and not really appreciating his crazy face and hair that he has going on there. Because you have to dodge these waves that are coming in, because they will silence you for a bit. That is not ideal. Alright, this side of Orgrimmar is now safe. And the mailboxes I just showed there, you can click on, and it summons an enemy and has a chance to summon Mail Muncher, which will drop a interesting looking mount that you can have. And I actually got that a couple runs before I recorded this video from Stormwind. I was actually considering doing the video for that one, but didn't actually end up doing that, unfortunately. But yeah, we got this run going, so that's fine. But yeah, I think I summon it out here later, and I'll show you. Right now I'm using a rare like dragony mount that I got while doing a quest in the, what is it? I don't know, the Pandaland Corrupted Zone. Forget what it's called exactly. But I pull some of these enemies, or I try to pull them. I think we have like a friendly NPC on our side who just ran in, but seems increases your sanity loss by 400% from any of the effects that enemies do to you. So you saw that was like 6, so that'd be 6 times 400% of that. So it adds up. It's a little bit annoying. I have run one with it since, and it is pretty annoying. Definitely on boss fights, it can, if you don't perfectly dodge everything, it can add up. But yeah, I'm liking running through these horrific visions. I think it's probably my favorite part of this expansion. I think it was really interesting running these and unlocking all the different wings of it. Because you start out and you're just straight up not able to do all of the wings. You're limited by your sanity, and even with like using all 3 of those sanity restoring things at the bottom there under the sanity bar, you still wouldn't be able to do all of them just because your cape was not upgraded for sanity loss reduction. So it was cool to go through that with a friend or 2. I usually do it with 2 or 3 people. And just kind of learn our way through this, learn the fights, and just unlock things as we progress together. I thought it was fun. And the concept's kind of cool, an alternate reality here. But anyway, what I started saying about the dragon, I unlocked that recently while doing quests in one of the corrupted zones. And got like a ivory scale or something that had to fly up in the sky and like use an item to train the dragon and get him out. And I found like a macro online so I could do it immediately when the dragon spawned, because apparently there's always a ton of people waiting there. And after the first person uses the item, everyone has like 5 seconds to use it as well and get them out. So, and it only spawns like, I don't know, I think it was kind of every hour or 2 or something. Something like that. But here we have the coagulated ore and that horrific figment that just leisurely strolled over to me. That's the thing that spawns when you're below 50% sanity. Yeah, I feel like if you're melee here, you're a bit more at risk of getting hit by a lot of these sanity things. Seems like they do a lot of AoE things right around them. But maybe there's things that I don't see because I'm not ranged. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing my warrior a lot. Definitely had by far the most fun with him out of all the characters that I have been playing and leveling. I'm excited for Shadowlands to bring up some old skills back, bring in some new things, and mix up rotations a bit, add a little bit more complexity back. So hopefully they can strike a good balance with that. Who are we fighting here? Vazak, the Lightless. Lots of random enemies, lots of numbers popping up. There we go, no more Vazak. And just like that, we're good on sanity again. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm excited for, apparently, Single-Minded Fury is coming back, which was, I forget now, it's been a one-handed weapons instead of two-handed weapons. Like right now, there's really no point in using two one-handed weapons. Because the stats and damage are just so much higher on the two-handers that you can use with Titanic Grip or whatever it's called. So there's not really a point without a separate buff to make it good. So I'm excited for that to come back and try that out. Be able to use some cool one-handers, some transmogs I have for cool one-handers. I don't know, like Kelsarar or something like that. I just like the mobility of the warriors too. Just charging and heroic leaping all over the place. Get that tentacle out of here. So now on to the third corrupted zone. There's 4 additional ones, and then you have to fight the final boss. Shooting a beam there to keep me in the corner. But you can't keep Khan in the corner. That stairs was just death, so I had to get out of there. Annihilator Lock Hall. There we go. Give us that sanity back. We have to rescue Corona Alforsen. And that's not the right way. Go back the right way, me. Alright, so in there is a dude that does spawn and give you a buff, but he's not there right now. They change which ones are available. I accidentally got knocked by Scorch Feet into another group, so it just made our life a little bit more difficult here. But these pulls usually aren't too bad. But I think this one is a little bit dangerous. Just because there's so many. And so many random effects going on with fears and scorched feet and knockback and a lot of things. Sam, I think the most difficult one is the mask that causes 2 terrible effects at once. It's like we have scorched feet, but we'd have that plus ones that fear you and stun you, and or there's some that just make you keep running for like 5 seconds. You can't stop running. But there's an ethereal that will sometimes be in there, and it is very beneficial to kill them. I think you have like, I don't know, I forget what that guy, I think that guy might give 10% crit strike. Oh, here's Snag. He's so corrupted, look at him, he's just glowing straight up blue. And there's a Torn that I know about in the first zone that I think gives 10% health. And in Stormwind there's a few people. My favorite here's odd crystals that you can collect and get some additional corrupted mementos if you turn them into an ethereal at the start, which we'll do later. Not sure. They usually spawn in like out of the way places, like behind crates or things that you really have to keep an eye out for, but we were more focused on just trying to finish this with the 3 masks, so don't spend too much time looking. And the way it works is there's a lot of spirits standing there angrily looking at this boss, Inquisitor Ginjin. Shawl. But the way it works is per week, I believe you can only get one item at the end of this run. And its item level depends on how many masks you've used. But let me clarify that. You only get one item per week per how many masks you have on. So you could do a 3-mask run and get one item, or a 2-mask run and get one item, or a 0-mask run and get one item. But the item level changes. It goes up by 5 per each mask. And here's Male Muncher that I mentioned earlier. It's hard to see what's going on since I'm just exploding with corruption and fire, but it's like a long, weird, red worm thing with some crazy mouth and teeth at the front of it, but somehow it comes out of the mailbox. And here's Misha, which is what Rexar's buddy. But, so yeah, it goes up by 5. I think no mask is worth 445, and one mask is worth 450, and 3 masks is like 365 or something. I think that's what we end up getting. We'll see at the end. Something like that. All the way up to 375. I mean, no, 475. And we're in the final zone here now. I like that big purple beam of twilight devastation I can call down. We're trying to get this stuff in now at the end and see if we can do 5 masks before the Shadowlands pre-patch comes out. Apparently that's going to get rid of corruption entirely, so I feel like people are going to be doing, I don't know how they're going to scale it, because people have become pretty reliant for a lot of their damage on the benefits of the corruption gear, so if they just don't scale the health and damage of things and take away a lot of people's potential damage, it seems like that's going to cause some problems. But we'll see. Because you'll see, I might be doing like, depending on the pull and if there's AoE and stuff, just normally doing like, I don't know, 30 to 60k damage. But then like Twilight Devastation comes down and it'll just shoot up to much higher. And I don't know what my friend just crit there, but it boosts his damage up to like 141k. It's crazy. Mages have some crazy crit. And I don't know if I would probably get some larger single crits on as Arms Warrior, but I love Fury too much. Arms felt like a really slow rotation, and had so much less heal, which wouldn't be a big deal in like raids, but I really need the heals if I'm gonna be tanking things like this and world bosses. So I stay as Fury, and I do pretty good, so, or at least I think so. does that knockback, and I think some of these do a stun or something, which is very annoying. Oh yeah, I think let's see how it goes. I don't remember. This bull's always annoying for some reason. Okay, all the ads are dead, and I think this fight's actually gonna go well. One time, I think we were doing, I can't remember, maybe 3, and just, oh yeah, we were doing 3 masks, but one was with the double negative effect, and we just had the perfect storm of negative effects happen on that pole, and it was just chaos, and we wiped there. Alright, so now we fight Rexar himself. And Rexar's annoying too. I think he's like the hardest fight maybe here out of the 4 extra ones. So you have to switch on these poles to the hogs that he has and avoid all the traps that he's putting down, which is pretty easy. Rexar calls on his pigs at certain health intervals, so if you just nuke him, you end up with like 4 pigs at once, and that void needle does a lot of damage. But we found out that you can actually sheep them and fear them and stuff, I think, so yeah, you polymorph that one into a little monkey. So void quills hurts quite a bit. But now Rexar is petless, but he's gonna summon some little demon voidling things here. Blizzard seems to like a lot of these events where things just coming off the screen like that in waves, and you just have to, play Frogger a bit and dodge your way through it. Alright, so Rexar is done. No more evil for him. Alright, now you can do this in each zone after beating it, and then get sent back all the way to the start. But look, as we found here, look at my friend's sanity going down. I was actually dropping pools of that sanity stuff behind me in the air, and it took like not quite half. He is a little bit down, but look how much the sanity difference between us. So if you have this one where you're dropping pools of sanity reducing stuff, maybe space out when you click that thing to send you back to the beginning, because apparently you still drop them in the air. It's a good thing we have a ton of these things left to restore our sanity. That's why I think the 50% total sanity reduction sounds like it would be the worst one, but actually I think it's like the easiest one if you have you're pretty far into the research tree, because there's a lot of other ways to replenish your sanity and keep it pretty well topped off. And this zone, I do 25% less damage unless I'm standing in those little circles that pop up. But I usually just ignore that. As melee, I don't feel like kiting everything around to fit in those circles. Alright. So we only found one on this run because we were going quickly and just trying to do it, since this would be our highest number of masks that we've attempted here. this zone. Probably would have been nice to look for him and get it, but at this point I wasn't sure where he was. So here we go. Thrall is the final boss here. You have a giant eye of N'Zoth that was hovering right above him. We make that right boar into a monkey. Definitely want to nuke these ads first. And Thrall has quite a few tricks up his sleeve. Like he'll make the inner ring a huge damage and corruption zone, and the outer ring. Sometimes that order switches up. And he does a few other things. He does that where he shoots out that AoE kind of in a cone, and will stun you and do corruption and damage. Does this move Hopelessness, where you have to run over to this light spot, or else you're silenced. And then he has another trick or two, but that's basically it. Just gotta be sure to dodge that defiled ground most of all. And then this move, Cries of the Void, you have to do as much damage as you can. And I get unfortunately hit by the big attack and then a defiled ground right after and die, but my friend is barely able to get me back up and got us back in action there. But yeah, you have to nuke down his shield, or else he'll do enough damage to just one-shot you. And we didn't get quite enough damage in on it that time, but enough to be alive, so that's good. The first time we attempted it, and that move got thrown into the mix. We weren't expecting it, and just got blown away. Get back out of that zone. Yeah. Other than that big exploding shield thing that seems like he only does it once, Thrall's not too bad. The Stormwind last boss is a little bit more annoying. Lots more stuff going on. Oh. Got stunned in that terrible zone. So that defiled ground can definitely lead to some bad situations, but here we go. We have defeated the Vision, all the wings, with 3 masks. Got that masked trio achievement. And you get some chests here. It's just resources here in the smaller ones. Got some new shoulders, Malefic Gore to upgrade the cape, and a couple pets as well. One I already had before. Oh, you get cosmetic items for transmog each time you complete with a new mask. Not the coolest looking, but you get it. I already have too many of those pets. But I got Cthuffer, which is a little corrupted boar or something. Okay, yeah, that's 460, but really 465 once you unlock all the Azurite powers. So that's pretty good. That's a 15 level update or upgrade for me. So, and I have a couple like rings that are higher level and that actually aren't as good. And I have some gloves that are a big upgrade but have too much corruption on them. And I could take them off, but I don't want to because I like its effect. So I'm guess, ranked ones in each tier, but definitely either S or A.